Holy moly, the 60. You know, you've been subbed to me for 60 months, and I haven't managed to get you to come play RuneScape with me. Sorry, Dota with me a single time. I'm doing something wrong, or you're doing something right. Hey everyone, welcome to another Twilight Tuesday. We are back to doing the race settings. So let's get to it. After last week's suffering settings, this will be a nice change of pace. And 3, 2, 1, go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No suffering. I didn't say no suffering, just significantly less suffering. There's a distinction there. I'm gonna start out here in CAC. I'll just grab my checks here. It's basically like saying I've known you for 5 years and I haven't convinced you to do crack with me. Is it? Is saying I can't believe I haven't gotten you to play Dota with me similar to saying I haven't gotten you to do crack with me? I feel like the you know, I know we like to joke about the addicting and negative properties of playing MOBAs, but I feel like I feel like we're grossly over under seriousness the effects of crack on your life. Like, let's be so for real right now. If I were to just start doing crack, like, out of the blue, I'm sure there would be, like, some health issues. I'd get addicted to it. I'd probably be out a lot of money. I'd be in a lot of debt. Rebecca and I'd be having a lot of marital issues. But I can play Dota too without all of those things happening. You don't know till you try? I'm fairly confident that it's cheaper for me to play Dota than it is for me to get crack. How much Dota 2 costs? It's free! I've seen the skin prices in Dota. All of the skin money I've ever spent is still under like $1,000. Baron Zone. Ah, shit. I forgot to talk to Minda. I'm such a goober. Goron Mines, Lakebed Temple, and Arbiter's Grounds. I love when it's a shift. Kakariko Graveyard. Okay, so just like Graveyard, Dead, Upper Zora's River, and Kakariko Gorge. I need to get faster at this. I'm like really slow. Do you know how much crack you can buy? No. This is $1,000-ish over the course of like. I started playing Dota 2 in 2011. 15 years? 16? How many years is that? Come on. Let's be so for real right now. How much crack am I getting for $1,000? Because it's not enough to satisfy me for that many years. My knowledge on drugs stops and ends at Breaking Bad, unironically. 0 important items, but 5 major can be found in Lakebed Temple. Impas is an orange rupee. How did we get here? I asked a buddy, Lunar Soap here. Close the thing, but yes. I asked my good friend Lunar Soap here. Sword. Ew, gross. when he resubscribed for 60 months, when we're playing Dota together, or like that it's crazy that we've never played Dota together, when one of the things that like I know about him is he's one of the few people who hangs around here who actually played Dota and was an enjoyer of the game. Like, pre-knowing me was a Dota enjoyer. And yet, subbed to me for 60 months, I haven't gotten him to come play a single game with me. And he's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, you haven't gotten me to relapse. And that's how we ended up on the crack discussion. This is your bribe to not do crack. Thank you for the 500 bits to not do crack. However, giving a crackhead $5, telling him not to do crack is a crazy maneuver. We got a heart container. Yippee! Lunar Soap, unironically, do you know the setup for this? Because I keep forgetting it. It's like bar left to like, it's like the post maybe, or maybe it's like these little bullet holes on the fence. You YOLO it? Oh, that's what I've been doing, and that has not been working out. I don't understand how drug addicts can afford drugs. Yeah, I don't know, it's a mystery to us all. There's a reason drug addicts become, like, homeless and shit. It's because their money gets tied up in acquiring drugs. Anyways, we're, like, not even 10 minutes into this YouTube video, and so far, we're going into the details on how pricey it is to be a crackhead. Nope, 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 nope. Wrong way. Nope, 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 nope! Okay, so real talk here. Drug addicts are kinda inspirational. Like, you ever hear them say, damn, I don't have money for drugs? Nah, they say time to go out there and get some drugs today. I mean, is that inspirational or kinda depressing? I feel like it's a little depressing, eh? That even when all that's left is nothing, they still try to sacrifice themselves to try and get the crack they so, you know, or whatever drugs they so desire. Kitty, what are you doing? Little Koga man got locked in here with me. Rebecca heard me screaming about drugs and was like, I have a PowerPoint presentation that I have to have done by like end of next week. I cannot deal with this. Crack turns you into a shonen protagonist. How quickly does this video get demonetized? One must wonder these types of things. Hey, a blue rupee! Huzzah! Alexa played Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba. Isn't that like the song that plays in hell of... No, it's the show Ghost. It plays in hell for the show Ghost. There's hell in the show Ghost, and then there's a hell in the show The Good Place, which is just the bad place. And they have different songs that constantly play in hell, which I find funny. That like in every like fictional version of hell, there's probably some song on repeat forever. Oh, a sword. What's new, pussycat? You weren't even at movie night last night, which makes it really funny that you'd say that. I feel like Charlie Kirk is someone that we should just, like, as a chat, try to never talk about. Really trying to get this as demonetized as possible. Yeah, see, we're on the same page, but apparently you're on that page going, here's what not to do, let's fucking do it. And I'm on that page being like, we should probably not do this. That seems bad. And you're like, yeah, it does. Send, go, go, go. We live in such fascinating times where I keep having to learn about people and then find out they're actually, like, the most despicable people of all time. And, like, I have to, like, learn about this, like, in retro. Because I didn't know who Charlie was, by the way, until of the incident. I'm gonna call it the watermelon incident. No, that's a fucked up thing to say. I shouldn't call it that. Anyways. Hey, a piece of heart. Hey, 100 rupees that I can't hold. Hey, 100 rupees I can't hold. Was that a sword? What a baby seed. If I don't know who someone is, then I guess that means they aren't too bad. That, in my experience, that has been extremely wrong. I didn't know who Kid Rock was. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. There was somebody else recently that people were talking about that I didn't know who they were, and people were telling me, like, oh, that's probably for the best because they're a horrid, horrid person. And I was just like, okie doke. But they weren't like they weren't like not a horrible person before I knew about them, right? Like, they were always horrible. Well, I'm sure they weren't always horrible. I don't think they, like, pop out the womb spitting racist jargon, but, like, Charlie Kirk out the womb being like, there's only 2 genders. Sorry. Naru Spring is on the path to Morpheal. Lake, okay. Grotto, bad. Morpheal, good. I just want to play silly game, and make Zelda game go brr. I mean, you can still do that. Just, yeah, the universe, like, is gonna keep doing what it's doing, unfortunately. I'm also just trying to do that, but, like, we live in a world. Hey, a second sword. I forgot to click the first one. We seriously just have sword and sword. And we know where a third sword is. Okay, well, I guess swords are dealt with. In the darkness that is our timeline, we are blessed with whoever this person is. I agree. We're blessed with a lot of things, honestly. Box, I laughed at your joke, but I'm not reading it out loud for the sake of my own sanity. Hey, the spinner was over here at this check. Wow. Deku Baba with the spinner. I still cannot warp there, and I can't warp there. Okay. So far, we have 2 swords and a spinner. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm also doing this seed, like, so incredibly slowly so far. I'd be like, I want to speedrun practice, and then just, like, go slow. What are you doing, hum? I think I just combined, like, bub and hun. And just said hub. I don't know what I did there. Okay, now I can go to there, but I would like... I tried to blow my whistle while I was still a wolf. Fonzie McZeal, thank you for the lurk. Fonzie McZeal, as a fellow VGC player, an enjoyer of competitive Pokemon to some degree, how do you feel about what's been released about upcoming Pokemon game replacing VGC Pokemon Champions? If you don't want spoiler stuff, then I won't tell you or ask you or whatever. Maybe you can walk out, so I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this with everyone else who wants to hear about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Optimal giddy-upping is every 5 gallops. And so I'm counting like a psycho. I had to do that a lot when I was speedrunning this game. So you Epona around quite a bit. But I'm just realizing I asked Fonzie McZeal a question after he came in and said I'm lurking. What's wrong with me? Something horrid, I imagine. Anyways, oh, he's here regardless. I haven't seen any leaks, if there are any, but from official things released, my opinion is that there's not nearly enough details known to have an opinion. So the main leaks that I've seen so far are, it's going to be monetized. There's like battle passes and shit to get you stuff. I don't know what the fridge it's getting you, but it's something. And IVs are gone. EVs are also gone. So EVs are replaced with a different stat that you just apply, but it is not called effort value anymore. It's called like battle point or some shit. And IVs are just gone as a concept. All Pokemon are 31 down the board. Yeah, EVs are just changed to a different name, but they are not called EVs anymore. And your Pokemon, when you trade them over with perfect EVs, will no longer have them. You then, like, have to apply the new stuff, right? And we got a bottle of milk, milk. IVs were a bad concept, IMO. I agree, but they were an important nuance to the current state of VGC. Waiting. What's this for? Pokemon Champions. The card game had stuff like IVs? No, card games never had IVs or EVs, but all of the... Wait a second, I wanted to be a Link, or Wolf Link. I'm just all over the place. This is Pokemon Champions, which is the thing that is showing up to replace VGC. The other VGC thing that we know, VGC, by the way, is competitive Pokemon. No, you're thinking of TCG. Outside South Castletown, okay. Coron Springwater Rush, okay. Sub Jim Jars. Jim Jar. Yeah, VGC stands for Video Game Competition or Championship or whatever. Nope. TCG is Trading Card Game. I have a nice lurk. Pangeopixels. But they've also like just said that VGC in Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet after this season is just going kaputs. They're just killing it until servers are dead. There's like no more. They're switching fully to VGC being on Champions, which I think is a good idea, but like kind of sad. How y'all? Pretty good. You're good. I've never held a train of thought in my life. So take your time. And another rupee. And in this chest, we have, let's see here. Oh, a grasshopper. Huzzah. All right. So that's like done for Zora's. Castletown's pretty bleh. I can get one check at Sacred Grove. I kind of fumbled the ball over at this area, the watery one, the water area that I went to and then forgot to do stuff at. Yeah, that was bad. Oh, is it so hard to find an internship? Well, that's such a complicated answer. So we have this cool but really horrid thing called AI that's replacing everyone's jobs. And also no one wants to get hired because no one wants to work for small amounts of money because companies don't want to pay people a living wage. Yeah, I should have done this earlier. Oof, and it was bad. Yeah, I guess I could have just said capitalism. My bad. I overcomplicated that. That's another fumble from me. Apologies. I guess I gotta just go to Orden. How much effort is it to overthrow our economic standard across the world? You might be better off just hanging out. Like, I'm not even trying to be doomer about this. It's just... I don't know. I'm stuck in a weird spot about the current state of the world where I'm like... Ooh, Zora's armor. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm stuck in a weird spot with the current state of the world where just the... I feel like we really need to get together and do something to fix this shit, but it feels so incredibly hopeless. And there's so many people who don't want to do shit that I want to have the opinion of just fucking vibe and let it ride. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, if we just vibe and let it ride, then aren't we just part of the problem? And it's just like kind of a cyclical thing of just wanting to do something about it, but not really feeling we can do something about it. So you're just kind of doing what you can. But you know what? TP Rando is pretty sweet. Yeah. And it's March. March is a pretty cool month. What do you want to give us? Show me the loot. And it's a piece of heart. Thank you. You know what's also sweet? Cats and Dogs has several really high quality movies that we can definitely recommend. I won't lie, I was a little shocked at how funny the funny moments of those movies were. Like, the funny moments in those movies were, like, way funnier than I ever would have thought and, like, that I remembered. But also, like, why did they have, like, Tom and Jerry as sound effects? Like, that shit was so bizarre. That was one of the #1 things that, like, stood out to me was the shitty sound effects. But, like, there was only, like, 1 or 2 fart jokes. That's pretty solid for a dog live-action movie from... Or, like, an animal live-action movie from early 2000s. Blue Rupee, let's go. So for IVs being removed, I don't think it's a big deal. The only thing they really mattered for was Trick Room Mon deciding if they were wanted to be absolute min speed or potentially outspeed in the mirror outside of Trick Room. It'll probably lead to a bit more speed ties, which can be annoying, but you can still change the natures for that. Yeah, I think ultimately it's a negative change because it's impacting options, and options were like kind of the thing that made VGC VGC. But I think people are definitely, like, the people who are like really mad about it are definitely overreacting, but it is like an interesting thing to kind of just like remove a mechanic. Come on now. Oh, cool. I didn't mash right. I've been mashing kind of lazily. Technically, it also matters for special attackers taking less damage from foul play, but that's not a big deal. It might be. I'm sure in some cases it's the difference between dying or not from a single foul play and a 5 rupee. I scream a lot. I think it's really funny the way that, like, streaming has, like, I've kind of just let myself, I want to say, like, remove my filter over time. But more specifically, it's become, like, a very fine-tuned filter. But certain things that I used to be like, oh, don't do that, you know, you can't just, every time you get caught off guard, scream. But with streaming, I kind of can. Like, that is my genuine reaction to a lot of things. Oh, my song. Where'd it go? Music? I guess I didn't like the music that much. I enjoyed doing my chores in silence. Said nobody ever. But through streaming, I've, like, told myself it's okay to do that, and now I'm at the point where I just... Ah! Like, it's just what I do now. Ooh, the lantern! Like, I just let it out. And, like, I'll do that even when I'm not live now, too. It's kind of funny. I'll be, like, playing RuneScape and get caught off guard by something. Like, I got hit by a really big Jad hit earlier, and I screamed. Like, in my room by myself, streaming to no one, or not streaming at all. Ooh, the, like, what is that, like a bright pink, like a fuchsia? Is that fuchsia lantern? Do, 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 do. And another 50 rupees. I feel like the purpose of Pokemon Champions is to have a version of Pokemon, competitive Pokemon, that is more accessible to more people. And I think if that is... I think removing IVs will ultimately add to the accessibility of something like competitive Pokemon. And I think that's cool. I'm definitely much more worried about, like, the monetization. I saw someone make a meme post of, like, what if the monetization of Pokemon Champions is something along the lines of, like, the best Pokemon are, like, Genshin Impact banners that you have to gacha to get, like, Incineroar or some shit. The Incineroar banner is here! Ooh, dude, I'd fucking lose it, man. You have to collect 5 of them to be able to fully, like, EV it out. And the Gale... Wow. Wow! Okay, baby seed, baby seed. It'd be in the spirit of Game Freak? I don't think it would. I don't think it would. Like, no. Game Freak... Damn, I really could have checked both of those things instead of getting those checks and wasting all my time. Couldn't be me. Game Freak is known for overcharging for shit, but they are not really known for being like greedy scumbags. Like, yes, they charge $70 for 2 different versions of the game, right? Like, and that's pretty fucked. But they don't have a lot of gotcha shit. They charge you for the game, and then they charge you for the DLC, and then you're good. That's it. Like, I've never really felt like I'm paying exorbitant amounts of money for like other shit. Ooh, wallet. That's huge. Yeah, all the like really gross monetary stuff in Pokemon that I don't like is actually in Pokemon Unite and Pokemon Go, which neither are Game Freak. Game Freak also like constantly just gives you free shit, right? Like the legendaries they give you by just like showing up at a GameStop or whatever. Like, yeah, you gotta show up at a GameStop or get a code, but sometimes they just share the codes online. They just say, hey, free shiny legendary, just have this code. Right? Like, they do just kind of give you shit. And a blue rupee. That blue rupee is actually huge. Believe it or not. It's getting us, since we have the wallet, a couple more rupees and we can go buy our Master Sword. We're done with this area completely now, which is delightful. And we got a shield. I don't know where to go though. I got those. Is CAC telling me I have stuff that I actually have? You know what? I should go here. It's nice to actually get things from checks again. Isn't it? I was thinking something very similar there. My mind's definitely like not in the speedrun mindset right now, because the last time I was doing one of these, I was just like, oh boy, I can't wait to check this thing and see what I get. Oop, it killed me. Yippee! Right? Like that was just kind of, you know, I was like all vibes. And now I'm supposed to be going like fast and shit this time, and I'm still just kind of vibing. But, It has been nice not being like, I want to say like punished for vibing. I mean, I was punished in the last seed for like existing, not necessarily for vibing. Like I would do anything and I'd get punished. And let's see what we got here. And we got piece of heart. I'm stimming. I gotta check off some stuff. And a blue rupee! Huzzah! Okay, well, we don't really have anything else here. That kind of sucks, but whatever. We know that is dead. We know that's dead. We know that's dead. I can get that, I suppose. I got that. Bombs bag is blue. Meow, 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 meow. I probably want to go this way. I need to make sure, if there's one thing I change when I actually am playing in the tournament, I gotta not just run in a fucking circle being like, where should I go next? Like, I can't think of anything that loses you more time than being indecisive. Oi, 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 oi. If you would, for a fishing rod, meh. Meh. Yeah, but they do it in a heartbeat. They think they can get away with it. Hoyoverse makes bank. I think Hoyoverse makes bank in a very different way. Like, I think Pokemon wanted to get into the Hoyoverse gacha, like, realm, and they did it through Pokemon Masters by having, like, characters. Because the reason Hoyoverse shit, like gacha shit like that works is because people love anime waifus. They do. They love anime waifus. And Pokemon, the only thing it has that's close to that is, like, I guess, like, the trainers. Some people kind of like the trainers. I mean, some people really like the trainers, but we're not getting into that. I'm going to pick up this 50 just for the money. Ah, and the husband. People like the waifus, brother. I'm so sorry. Like, it's mostly waifus. I'm always thrilled when it's both, like when both are available, but like if the husbandos weren't ever available, the games would still be fine if the waifus were still there. But I don't think people would ever gacha for Pokemon. And, like, they kind of know that, too. Because, like, even in Pokemon Go, you don't gacha for the Pokemon. You gacha for, like, everything else. Because if you gacha for Pokemon, people will get, like, kind of upset. / go do something else to get their Pokemon, right? Because there's just so many alternative ways to get them without having to gacha. Like, they're just available elsewhere. Menless Zone 0? What do you mean? It's got like 3 dudes. It has that furry dude. Oh yeah, no, I forgot about him. He's like one of my favorite characters in the cast. The like maid wolf guy. Dude, that guy's fly as shit. I rolled like 3 of him and then quit anyways because that game's just so boring. I wanted to like it too. I really did. Hey, orange rupee. All right. Let's go cack. Buy my 3rd sword. Cause like I liked the characters and the animations and whatnot in that game, but just like actually playing it was so boring. Maybe boring's the wrong word. It just it. Didn't you get a sponsor from ZZZ? I think I had multiples. I actually have a sponsor again right now from the Arknight game, which it has very similar vibes to ZZZ. ZZZ just the amount they wanted me to play the game for output. Like you're saying with like the reason you never spend money on gacha games is because they make you spend a fuck ton of money for a pull. As soon as a game realizes that people are so down to spend money for lots of pulls, like, they're gonna make so much more money. Like, they just are. I don't know why every gacha game has the concept of, like, roll few times with okay odds. Like, the odds are still ass. That's like the craziest thing about it is the odds are still ass. It's like 3%, but one roll is like multiple dollars. It's just like I'm not doing that. If I could spend $10 to get like a good chunk of rolls, I'd probably spend $10. It would feel worth my dollar. Shit, I don't know where I'm going again. I think I just want to go desert. That's why I'm saying if they thought they could get away with it, they would. Let's be real. Game Freak would leap on any chance to make 119 million every 6 weeks, but I also don't think Game Freak has the dev talent to make the kind of games they need to make to get away with it. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Game Game Freak like recently put out a game that looks well, like if you told people it was Game Freak, they wouldn't believe you. Type shit. Like they very recently put out a game that looks like no way it could be Game Freak, but it is. What up, Whoop? Whoop whoop. I firmly stand by that Game Freak has good developers. They simply don't spend their money wisely enough. I like turtles. Did you know I have a turtle? His name's Tortle. We actually had 3 turtles, and they were Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. Blastoise died very young, unfortunately. And Squirtle, we think Squirtle choked on like a shrimp. That was very sad. And that was like a couple years ago, and now all we have left is Tortle, and we just called Tortle, or Wartortle, we just called Wartortle Tortle. Koopa is not a turtle. Koopa is a different pet. That's a gecko. And piece of heart. Okie doke. I have a dog, 3 cat, and a flock of chickens. Ducklings coming soon. Hell yeah. Yeah, we have dog, 3 cats, 4 snakes, turtle, some fish. Zoo isn't a thing anymore. It needs to be updated. We keep forgetting to update it. Oopies. Well, I keep forgetting to update it. I guess I don't need to put down that I have 6 bugs. I can just put down that the 6 bugs are nothing. I feel like there's one excuse, and the one excuse is that they pump out games every year with a team of like 10 people. Like, okay, not 10, but like the Game Freak development team is still like decently small, and the time they give themselves to develop games is also insanely small. I don't feel like that's giving them a lot of excuses. It's giving them like 2, and it's 2 pretty valid excuses in my opinion. But, hey, we found a class shot. That's kind of sweet. I think they just needed to, I don't know. It's so bizarre, because, like, I feel like if they just stuck to 2D, they could have had some really solid, or like just stayed in pixel. They could have stayed in a pixel environment and things would have been fine. But they like wanted to go the 3D route, but like not change at all the development cycle, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because like Falcus is saying, they then have to cut a bunch of corners, and then when you cut a bunch of corners, your games look like shit. And then people yell that you suck, get your job, and like, I don't know. I kind of do, but like, they're still putting out. I think Pokemon people don't understand how much needs to be coded for like the hundreds of different Pokemon and their like 50 different moves they can possibly have, and it's 4 at a time, and then they have like how many different interactions possible are there? Like there's just so many different interactions per thing, per Pokemon. Like, give it a couple of years, yeah, it could be fucking insane and it'd be really cool, but there's just a lot going on in this simple little game. One of the biggest issues that I have, though, going forward is that a lot of the reason I do play the most recent games is for stuff like VGC. With VGC being moved to Champions, I am losing a lot of my reasoning for buying Pokemon games. I'm sure I'm still gonna have to get the new Pokemon games so that I can, like, get the new Pokemon. Oh my god, we got the light sword. All 4 swords acquired. Oh, it's pretty. Look at the glow. I guess, can I just, like, clear arbiters? I guess I can't? Kinda? Sorta? Maybe? Ah, ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. I can almost clear arbiters. I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it. We just need to find a couple of... We need to find something in arbiters capable of killing skeletons, and we're good to go. I haven't bought a game since Sun and Moon because of their constant stripping back of content and cutting corners. I'm hopeful they might do something halfway decent with the next gen. It looks way better than any previous Pokemon game. Like, let's be so, like, graphically, it looks really good. I do kind of feel like Pokemon's kind of... How do I put this? It's kind of lost faith of a lot of people. So I think for a good chunk of the fan base of Pokemon, they don't just need to put out a game that's actually decent. They have to put out a game that is shockingly good. Because otherwise people are just so stuck in their Pokemon fucking sucks spiral that they're not going to, like, get out of that to give the game a chance. Right? Because they have lost people, which is not the same as, you know, people are hesitant. It's not that people are hesitant, it's that people are, like, aggressively, Pokemon should be doing better. Oop. We're not the target audience. That is bad. That is a bad thing because that means you're saying that kids don't deserve good games. People say the same shit about, like, TV shows and movies. They'll be like, it's just a kid's movie, calm down. Like, no. If I had a child and they were forced to watch some fucking slop that could have been really good, I'm gonna be upset. When I was a kid, I had SpongeBob and Avatar. And I fucking thrived. Coco Melon is child abuse? Real. I buy all the creature collectors that aren't Pokemon. I'm definitely the audience. Yeah. I think when people say, like, not the audience, they quite literally mean the games are made for 8-year-olds. And maybe you as not an 8-year-old. I think that argument stands for the, like, no national dex. I think the national dex was a mistake. The fact that they made it so you could have every Pokemon in every Pokemon game for as long as they made that a thing was just... they overpromised for too long. Like... This isn't even me being, like, an apologist on the whole thing. It's just, like, they keep adding 100 more Pokemon. Eventually, there's going to be too many Pokemon. We don't need 1,000 plus Pokemon in every game. 400's enough. We used to be happy with 150. So I don't see why we're unhappy with only, like, 500 or so. Like, I don't know. That just doesn't really, meh, you know? Meh. Wait, I didn't read that sign. I really should have. Sniff, 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 sniff. Oh, yeah, that's that good stuff right there. How ranted do you think the Poe actually smells? And in this chest, we have, ooh, the bow. That is needed, actually, for stuff, but not needed for finishing this dungeon, unfortunately. Not what I'm looking for. You want to hear some disgusting figures? I mean, maybe. Depends on what kind of disgusting figures. Coco Melon has over 218 billion views on their channel. Ew. I don't even know what Coco Melon is, which is not a good look. I only buy Pokemon spin-offs now. I had a lot of fun with Arceus. Apparently, the highest rated Pokemon game to come out in the last, like, 15 years is Pokemon, whatever the new one coming out is. What's the new one? Pokopia? Yeah, apparently Pokopia has, like, the best reviews of any Pokemon game in a very long time, which is, like, kind of insane to me. It really makes me want to get it, but I'm just like, Okay, actually, the number one thing that makes me want to get it, other than the ratings, is the fact that if I get the game for my Switch 2, Rebecca can play with me on the Switch 1. That is actually really fucking cool. Like, without buying the game a second time, Rebecca and I can play this game together. If just I get it on the Switch 2. You have to have someone with a Switch 2 to get it. But then if you have someone with a Switch 2 playing the game, they can basically stream it to the Switch 1. Pokopia scores well because it's literally Dragon Quest Builders reskinned with Pokemon. I mean, I'm aware of this, but, like, it's still, you know, on the discussion of I only buy Pokemon games that aren't Pokemon. Like, this is a Pokemon game that's not Pokemon. And it's scoring really well. What do we got from this chest? It's a rupee. And here I thought I actually needed that check. Because I thought I might need it for the key. Because I need a key to go up and around and do the whole dungeon and blah, 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 blah. Meh. Wait, I don't actually need to worry about you anymore. I really needed to worry about them in the Nightmare Rando, but not so much here. I do think, by the way, that I think Pokemon Champions might literally be one of the smartest decisions Pokemon's ever made. Because it'll allow the main game series to not be, like... How do I put this? I feel like main game always had this weird thing where, like, the game had to be built around doubles despite being a singles focused game. If you've never played Pokemon competitively, it is exclusively doubles, despite the fact that a majority of casual Pokemon is singles. And just, like, there's so much stuff they have to put into every game to make it possible for the competitive stuff and, like, the post game, and just, like, the post game can exclusively be PvE focused on the single player experience now. I don't know how much they needed like, I don't know how much, like, extra dev time was required to add all of the stuff to make VGC things function the way they need to function or whatever. But I imagine it could be a noticeable amount, and not having to worry about that because everything is just on Champions is a possibility that I would like to see, but perhaps. Going back to the national Dex thing, the reason I'll always be upset is they said it was to make the graphics better and such, but they didn't look better at all. Can we say that when we don't necessarily know what the alternative is? There's a very real world where they include the national decks, and it's just fucking ugly. Like, it's uglier than... Like, it was already ugly. Like, Sword and Shield was an ugly game, but imagine if it was uglier than that. We don't necessarily know. Like, this could have been the improved version of Sword and Shield. And there's an even uglier version that would have existed if we didn't, like... If we kept the national decks. No, I like Sword and Shield. I love Sword and Shield. Do I think that game is pretty and very well made? God, no. But I've never really cared one for graphics. I literally play old school RuneScape. Like, I simply... Like, okay, when graphics are really good, I notice and love them. But unless the graphics are, like, noticeably... Like, I'm more of a style person than a quality person. Like, for example, I fucking hate Minecraft. The, like, blocky look of Minecraft and how everything is a block, like... It looks gross. I fucking hate Minecraft style. And people are like, oh, but the mods make it look so pretty. Like, yeah, but it's the style. I don't like the style of Minecraft, where everything is like a weird chunk. Use a smooth mod, it's only a little cursed. I'm good. I'm sorry that I just don't like it when everything is... I don't know, it's like it looks forced. I think some of the things look fine as blocks. Like the axolotl in Minecraft, I think is like kind of cute. Kind of a cute little abomination. By the way, this is the room where if we don't have bombs or ball and chain, we cannot progress any further. And we do not have bombs or ball and chain, so we cannot progress any further. I cannot kill this guy. What a tragedy. We'll be back. Fuck. What can you do? I'm sobbing. The worst thing is that now we have to come all the way back and the teleport is still like there and it's just like bleh. Bleh, you know? Like bleh. This silly vampire be like bleh. Dracula, but he's got like some real autism shit going on. Autistic Dracula, call that Count Advocate. Sorry. don't. Bro's not even here and he's catching strays. Oh, fuck. Autistic Dracula sounds like a great character. Someone should make that. Have you ever seen The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? I'm fairly confident we could classify Blackula as residing upon the spectrum. All right, we got the giant quiver. Okay, thank you for that. I always wanted 3 quivers. All right, well, that's cool. Meow. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, bam, 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 bam. I want to, like, shill the YouTube video, but it feels weird to shill the YouTube video that went live today in the YouTube video that's going to go live next week. But I want to shill to the Twitch chat. I enjoyed Sword and Shield a lot. It was a huge improvement over Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon is, or sorry, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is like one of the most polished Pokemon games that's ever been released, next to like Black and White too. But there's a lot of cutscenes at the start of the game and a lot of text, so people fucking hate it. And I think that that's really funny. Like one of the worst paced early games in all of Pokemon. And just is considered one of the most polished Pokemon games ever released. And another heart container. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on the modern state of Pokemon and why I'm not confident there'll ever be a new mainline game that's worth buying to me, but Twitch chat isn't really a place where I can go as deep as I'd want to. Yeah, if you're really trying to go as deep as you want, you might want to try, like, Chatterbait. I hear the Pokemon discussion is very deep over on that site. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I thought it'd be funny. What? YouTube video? I'm bucking. Rebecca sent me a screenshot, or not a screenshot, an actual photo taken from her phone of a license plate yesterday that was like Muck 777. So like not custom, but it had like the Pokemon Muck and then the like 777. And I was like, lucky Muck. But then I also wanted to respond like, just come. But then I kept myself from saying that because I'm a functioning adult sometimes. Anyways, look at this. It's a red ruby. Whee! Where's my horse? Anywhere. Still no bombs, which is like kind of bad. We really need those. I'd probably just want to, like... Wait, yeah, no, I want to be horse here. Lurk? Fair. I'd want to lurk at this point, too. Maybe. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I think... A lot of people, like, don't buy Pokemon games these days because they... And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like a lot of people don't buy Pokemon games these days because they don't think they're worth the money. But I feel like I generally get a lot of hours of playtime out of the games, regardless of whether or not they're polished or whatever. So I generally feel like I'm definitely getting my money's worth. Because, like, ultimately, I spend $70 and then I enjoy the game for 100 to 300 hours. Like, that... I feel like you get more than 60 hours of a game, you kind of got your money's worth. Because even if they're, like, kind of hard to look at and they could be way better, they're usually still, like, pretty fun. Even if it's just, like, running around and collecting Pokemon, right? Like, it's still usually a bunch of hours of game time. All right, another rupee I can't do anything with, and another rupee I can't do anything with. Yippee! All right. Anyways, the poor Rotoms when the Pokemon universe gets Chatterbait and they all have to manage the donation vibration API. You think there's like a platform that sells like Rotom themed vibrators? I can't enter that dungeon. I can't enter that dungeon. I don't even have to check. We have, let me Google that, and I don't even have to check. Obviously, they do. I doubt it's Charlo fishing rod. That just seems... Because that gets me one check. There's no way Charlo fishing rod is, like, the path. Well, then what the heck am I missing? Oh, you know what? I'm missing one check here. Oh, and star prize. Okay. Cool. I was checking stuff. I really gotta stop. Because when I'm actually doing, like, tournament stuff, I don't even, like, check off stuff, usually. I just kind of keep running. But for some reason, when I'm, like, doing the videos, I, like, want to check it all off. And then I feel bad because it's slow as shit. Wait, what do you mean you still have a check there? No, I don't. Yeah, get rid of you. Yeah, 14 checks remaining is what I expected. Just drawings? I feel like that's the kind of thing that the Pokemon Company would actually, like, get really upset about and try and do something about. I don't know why, but they're... I don't know. Pokemon Company's weird. Piece of Heart, Plum minigame, dead. Willow, should I buy Pokopia? You should. Not for any specific reason, just if you're asking, you probably want to buy it because you think it'd be fun. Okay, I'm lost again. I guess this is 2 checks. Oh, and I have Vine chest. I forgot about Vine. Himmel the Hero didn't forget about Vine. Dude, Himmel the Hero loves Vine. Loved Vine is like one of my favorite Freerin memes. That shit's so funny to me. I can just picture Freerin telling Fern some stupid ass Vine joke and Fern being like, the fuck are you talking about? And then her being like, man, Himmel liked Vine. Oh. Oh, man. I might pick it up later in the year when it's the exact same price. I feel like that's why I never want to, like, wait on Pokemon or just Nintendo games, because I know the price isn't going to go down. All that's going to happen is that I'll be playing the game after everyone is done with it. And, like, I think part of what makes them super fucking fun right now, like, when they come out, is playing them, like, with the community and whatnot. So... Ooh, boy, money. I love money. Yes, money! Money! Freerin muttering to herself while they were clearing that rock slide. Road work ahead. I sure hope it does. I fucking love Freerin, man. Stark would love Vine. I mean, who... I feel like Stark's just like a simple little fella. Did I read you? Fishing rod is on the path to the invoice. Fuck off with that sign giving me information that I actually need to go to Charlo. I hate you. Why is Willow your, like, secretary? I guess Willow was looking for an internship. Did you give Willow an internship that I didn't know about? You're just like, Willow, remind me to buy this game. Willow, remind me to take my meds. Willow, remind me to go to bed tonight. Remind me to eat my dinner later. The intro and the outro for this season of Freerin. There was one day where we accidentally skipped the intro, and I was like, I thought Rebecca did it on purpose, and I was about to, like, yell at her. Like, unironically, the first fight that we've had as a couple in, like, many years. When she tried to skip the intro to Freerin. Ooh! Shit was about to go down. But it was just an accident. We rolled it back. Everything was fine. God, the outro is so pretty. And all the music is like, oh. Oh! I said count catching strays even though he's not here. Now he's here. To catch the strays. But at least he's here now, so it's a little bit better. Slightly less stray. You went from being like a Koga when we found him to a Koga as he currently is. Huh, Koga. He's very upset. The door is closed. He cannot get out. Shmoney! Yippee! I love money. I hope you find those paths, my guy, my friend. All right, Charlo. We'll beat the homeless. Ike hates the homeless accusations and give you 500 rupees for a fishing rod. But I'm not happy about it. In come the ladies. I should check this because it said this was path to invoice, which I feel like it would only tell me that if I actually needed invoice. It like wouldn't say something otherwise. How damn often do I clean the litter box? Way too goddamn often. Oh, hold on, what was the first check? Tightrope chest, purple rupee, and heart container. Okay, both of those are useless garbage. So tightrope chest, dead. Double claw shot chest, dead. That sign is dead. An ice block puzzle dead. I have 3 available checks. Name a better duo, SwiftIke, and getting every possible check in a rando. I'll wait. Oh boy, the Dominion rod. The Dommy Mommy rod. What's your take on automated shitting pods? Excuse you? What does that mean? I've never looked into automated shitting pods. Is Neelix capable of going in the litter box as well? No. I mean, not in the way that we would want him to. He goes in there and like eats the cat shit sometimes, and it's like a whole ass thing. You have to like clean his mouth and stuff. It's nasty. Gross ass dog. The pods that like automatically. Oh, see, we use like the cheapest litter known to man. I have to put the sword in the thing. I always forget about that. What up, Mr. Astonish Shah? And it wouldn't work with those. Also, we'd have to buy them. So. Yo, congrats on exercising. I wish I knew how to exercise. I feel like I'm just like not capable of figuring out how to like get that into my routine. I just have so many stupid little like brainworm things that I want to do like at all times that like telling myself to go exercise is just like I don't know. Like it feels like something like it's only 30 minutes. It's not even like a full Dota game. It's half a Dota game. But just like the idea of like going and doing that for 30 minutes just feels so hard. It's XP waste. And like yeah, I have a ton. I actually like exercising. That's the crazy thing. I just don't like it more than my alternatives. And I'm a very, like, I want to do, like, the things that I want to do at all times kind of guy. Because I've definitely started feeling the effects of the I'm not getting any younger and I need to move. Because I used to, like, exercise, like, before that, right? I'm just like, I know I need to exercise or it's gonna, you know, bite me in the booty one of these days. And now it's biting me in the booty and I'm still just like, maybe tomorrow. I already missed my time today. I forgot to exercise already. And, like, I have the Miku exercise and the Ring Fit and all of these other, like, things that I genuinely enjoy. But it feels like, I don't know. Like, I can't seem to figure out how to get it into a routine. I think the number one thing that kills me is that, I don't... I need, like, a gacha exercise game. That would unironically probably work for my stupid-ass brain. Like, exercising daily gets me pulls. Fuck, that actually works so well for me, and I hate that. God damn it! But, monetize it quickly! Because, like, you're saying, oh, what if you just ring fit at the start of your stream? Like, that just, it affects the flow. It's important to, you know, look at how, like, flow is just so important. You can't fuck with the flow. Right? And I feel like starting the day with, like, an exercise or something really just messes with the flow of the stream, right? People only get pinged that you're live once, and that's when you start stream. That's, like, the biggest amount of people that are gonna, like, stop by the stream is at the start, and they're gonna see what you're up to. They're gonna get their email about what you're doing at the start of stream, and if it's exercise for 30 minutes, all right, I'm gonna click off. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I forgot to go back in 30 minutes. The other guy I clicked to go watch is actually way funnier than Ike anyways. And, like, it's all downhill from there. If you could connect Uma Sume to a treadmill and a heart rate monitor and have your performance boost your Umas, we would see an era of the fittest weebs the world has ever seen. Probably, yeah. My left trigger just, like, broke. It's fixed now. That was weird. It's indeed Year of the Uma. That was, like, a whole thing with Northern Lion, is he would say, oh my god, you had iron boots? That's crazy, dog. Northern Lion would get on his Peloton in the morning and do an Uma run. Because an Uma run, like a daily Uma run, and this is what I keep telling myself, I gotta just, like, get on the bike and do an Uma run. Because one Uma run is about 30 to 45 minutes. So it's a exercise. Getting on your bike, doing an Uma run is, like, the perfect amount of time for an exercise. But also, I can do my Uma run while I walk the dog. I can do my Uma run while I'm lying in bed at night. And I can't seem to get myself to be like, no, you Uma run on the bike in the morning. Like, that's how it works. That's how it's got to go. Like, I don't know. I'm going to be mean. You can do it. You can be mean to me. I'll probably cry, but I'm sure we're both okay with this. What's stop you from getting on the bike right now? The camera would be pointing at my crotch, and there'd be a portion of the YouTube video of the camera on my crotch doing a TP rando. I'm not getting on the bike right now. I'm sorry. And And there's the second Dominion rod. Okay, this run's getting ass. Wait, hold on. What was that? Cool. And a piece of heart. Cool. It's not actually ass. I'm just complaining that I have to go do dungeons now. Because I still don't have bombs! What is up with this? What's the deal? Now I have owl chests to go do? Like... Let's be so for real right now. Why are explosives, like, so hidden in this run? Oh, I'm back on my meds. Yeah, I only went off for a couple days. And in this check, we got the upgraded fishing rod, which has no purpose in this run, but we got it. We know lake bed has 0 needed items. Like, that's a thing we already got the check for. Like, we got info on that. That's that. We know Iron Boots was path to something, but then it got us immediately the Dominion Rod, which could get us so many things. Ugh. Oh, I love when randos are just like, okay, you've gotten every available check, but now you're going to get like one little item at a time, and then every item you get, it's like, okay, now you get one check here, and 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 it's just like, I'm just running between individual checks. I'm running errands. It's like when you have to go to Costco for like 2 items. Like, fuck, man. What up, little dinosaurs? And it's a ruby. Oi. Dragging my ass to Costco because I'm out of bombs again. Oh my god, are you real? Can you even buy 2 different things at Costco? Don't they only sell everything in... The hug? Huge bundles. Okay. I was like, what is this emote supposed to be? Because I'm very confused. It was huge. You missed the E. Okay. But like... No, they have individual things. Usually it's a large size, but like, oh, I'm out of toilet paper. I go to Costco and buy toilet paper, right? Like, I still only bought one thing. But not at Costco, you can buy one roll. You'll never catch me buying an individual roll of toilet paper. I simply would never be that desperate. What scenario are you in where you're buying a roll? That's like you're held hostage at the gas station and they said they're out of toilet paper. If you need to wipe, you're gonna have to buy a new roll. Like that'd be crazy. When you're in an Airbnb. Oh my god. When you're dying, you don't think you'll last that long? I mean, you're dying, but you still are in a position where you go to the store and buy toilet paper? Like, yeah, they're usually still in a pack of some sort. 11 checks remaining. I probably should just go to Goron Mines, but... They only let... But did they charge for a 3rd roll? Was that like an extra? Or did you have to go buy a pack of 4? We had to go buy some Charmin. Okay, I'm sure you didn't have to buy Charmin specifically, but like, yeah, okay. Oh my god, the Helm Splitter. Charmin overpriced BS. Okay, if you've never used Charmin, I think it's expensive, but overpriced is a bit of a reach. Every time I use Charmin, I'm just like, damn, I wish I was a rich motherfucker who could afford Charmin. My ass has never felt so sweet. Lunar Soap and the boys being like, 4-ply, whoa! That's cute and I love it. I love everything about it. Okay, but like, let's just ignore price for a little bit. Charmin does feel like way better. In my experience. There's... I don't know how much better it is than like other decent brands, but I know like I've had some really, really bad toilet paper. Like, I don't know why it can be as bad as, like, I've had like my college, the college I went to, I swear to God, had like sandpaper for toilet paper. Like, I almost considered bringing my own toilet paper to the campus. I don't know. I don't know. It definitely feels good, and I have no issues with that. Like, and it feels better than anything else I've ever purchased. So like, I understand why it's more expensive, but also it is very expensive and a bit of a luxury, so I don't get it all the time. You stole TP from your campus before? Yeah, I don't need extra sandpaper for my asshole. Thank you very much. I feel like if you're gonna have sandpaper TP, the least you could do is like install bidets on like, I don't know. I feel like it's the least you could do, but they did not do that. Every time I needed to take a shit on the campus, because by the way, the campus was like in the middle of fucking nowhere. So, like, and I would be there all day. If I needed to take a shit, I wasn't about to drive, like, 45 minutes home to take a shit and then 45 minutes back to the campus. No. Nuh-uh. Could you just put toilet paper in your bag? That's what I was saying. Is I said I almost started doing that, but then I don't know why I didn't, honestly. I think I just didn't want to be that guy who brought toilet paper to school. But I really should have been. I forgot to get the check. I'm such a dingling. What do I even do here? I only know how to go one direction here. How often per day do you poop? Like, usually once or twice. Hi, Koga. Have you been locked in here enough time that you've decided to commit crimes? You're bored and now it's crime time? I didn't understand. Google, shush. Not talking to you. Are you good, Falcus? No, I think that might be the evil Falcus. One of those clone scenarios where there's an evil and good version of Falcus. This is probably the evil Falcus. Hard to tell sometimes though. This is the neutral Falcus. A triple clone scenario. That's an interesting phenomenon. And a piece of heart. No, you do need to go up and around. I like the people who were doing math to figure out how many times a day people had to shit to use the TP they were buying, and it was 24 hours of uninterrupted pooping. Because they lived in a world where scalpers didn't exist. What are we talking about? Scalping TP? What happened? I remember that happened during COVID. People were like buying the TP like en masse and selling it. We just like happened to have a lot of toilet paper at the start of COVID. Like we had just made a Costco run, so we were fine. Woohoo! Goron mine small key! Yippee! Thanks, little guy. And Mantis. Some people were deadass probably just stocking their doomsday bunkers though. Oh, I'm sure they were. I feel like we ran out of something, but I don't remember what. I know like eggs and milk became like kind of scarce, and like that was really annoying. COVID was like such a weird phenomenon where we kind of saw how like unprepared for anything our society is. Like, oh my god. Imagine if COVID wasn't just like Omega flu and it was like Black Plague type shit. We would have been so fucked. Jesus Christ, we would have been so fucked. Like, COVID was pretty bad. But, like, in the grand scheme of pandemics, it could have been way worse. But I feel like even if it was way worse, I think we wouldn't have handled it any better. We just would have had a lot more people die. I did thrive during COVID, I won't lie. As a TP enjoyer. I'm like the Flamigo of success. I'm calling that the Flamigo effect, where Flamigo was the second most searched Pokemon, probably due to the fact that people would misspell Flamingo. Oh, that shit's so funny. The Flamingo. Yeah, the quotes are just so busted. What up, Jared? Yo, it's a rupee! I love rupees! Yay, rupee! Yeah, you're dude Jared again. The destruction of science in the US at the moment means the next major pandemic will likely be much worse. Yeah, I wasn't holding my breath regardless of what was happening. Like, I'm very glad that I'm a shut-in. Ooh, a claw. The claw. Please move to the UK. That's not happening. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. You want me to move to like the second worst first world country? Going from being someone in the States to someone in Britain is like not. And like if I'm moving to Europe, there's so many better options. Let's be so real, man. But I also don't go outside. Why would I need to know anything other than English? When I was in Amsterdam, all I knew was English, and I did pretty all right. And now I speak poor German, which also means you can probably understand Dutch, because Dutch is just drunk German, so. Wait, there's a... Oh, no, the sign is over here. That was something I learned in Amsterdam, which is that, like, it's literally just drunk German. Nothing beyond this point. All right, bye-bye. I know Rebecca looked into moving to Sweden at one point. That's probably where we'd go. Or, like, Amsterdam. like the Netherlands. They have a lot of friends in Germany too. But Rebecca literally has a job for like the state of California, so like I don't think we're leaving the state of California anytime soon. Like we had looked into leaving California, but at this point, like I don't think it's happening. From her pension? Oh god, I don't know. Californication. The part of The Good Place where they talk about, like, where they're, like, having that fake quiz on whether or not you're a good or bad person, and they mention, like, have you ever gone to a Red Hot Chili Pepper concert on, like, as, like, a piece of credential to make you qualify for the bad place, like, hurt my soul. Like, the fuck's wrong with the hot chili peas, man? The fuck you got against the chilies? They got some bops, man. It might be just attending the concert that was the problem. Is this the guy who called one of his most loyal viewers Autistic Dracula? Well, I mean... yeah, because he laughed. I got away with it. Didn't, like, everything in the show get you in the bad place? Yeah, but they were being, like, more aggressively, right? Like, it was, like, specifically, this is bad, right? As opposed to, like, the problem with the current system being that you literally cannot buy a tomato without it being, like, riddled in pesticides grown by slaves type shit, and therefore you're getting negative points by going to your farmer's market and buying a tomato. God, I still cannot. I can't blow up rocks still. I'd be so honored to be Autistic Dracula. Real. Because then at least you'd also be Dracula. Right now you're just autistic. I looked at the bees pollinating the fruit from my local farmer's market, and they all had tiny ball and chains. Yeah. Isn't Dracula kind of autistic by default? In what sense? Where exactly are you pulling that information? Where do I go? I only have 8 checks remaining. Bleh. Shit. He has a bunch of vocal stims and drinks. Okay, drinking blood is not an autistic thing, I don't believe. Vocal stims, yeah, okay. You might have him there. You'd be like, bleh. Yeah, not many of the autistic individuals that I, you know frequently interact with are like, oh yeah, just having my 3rd glass of blood. Like, what? Rip to the Transylvania culture? Scrapes and licks? That's a Blackula joke. Blackula don't suck. He scrape and lick. I don't believe Transylvania is a real place. Is that okay, or is that a problem? Is that, like, a problematic thing? It is? I mean, I'm sure it is, but I think it's funnier to just, like, not believe that it's real. It's like Atlantis. Mr. Worldwide, except Russia and the made-up place of Transylvania. Yeah, you get it, you get it. Dude. Isn't Transylvania the name of the galaxy in Rocky Horror Picture Club that the transvestites came from? Real based. Let's all go to the trans galaxy. I think we're stuck in this one. I feel like Ike has a lot to answer for after the stream. What does that mean? Can't I answer it right now? Just ask the questions, boyo. Cis Galaxy is so boring. The new Mario Galaxy game is sounding very interesting. Trans denier hashtag foe. Automod, get his ass. Great, now I have to go accept that. Oh, You're welcome. Damn it. Wolf, go! I've seen that movie in a cinema. What is the origin of hashtag foe? Literally just RJ calling me a foe. Like, I don't think there's anything deeper to it. He has ally in his tag, so I started calling him hashtag foe. Yeah. Because I wanted to have a thing in my, like, tags that said that this is, like, a safe place for, like, you know, people. But now it's just a confusing place. Yeah, the only people that get bullied here are cis white people, which are me. It's mostly just me. Oh my god, we got the invoice. Let's fucking go. Utopia. Does that count for anything? It does. It counts for everything, actually. I still can't believe you aren't pan or bi. I mean, we don't really need to have a label, do we? I'm at a weird spot with the like, are you bi? Because I'm like, I don't know if I think I'm quitting video games for the rest of my life. I hate this check so goddamn much. I think there's like an LJA you can do instead of this, but like the LJA is like super ass. I very infrequently need to do this this check in races too. But like, anyways. I definitely like find some men attractive, but like I don't think I'd ever see myself being in a relationship with a man. But a lot of it's just like, I don't think it kind of comes down to, I don't like being, I'm not like sexually attracted to men, right? Like a sexual preference, and I am a rather sexual individual, so I never see myself in a relationship with a man. But I do find men attractive. Just like penises are not attractive, man. They're like so fucking weird. But like ultimately, if Rebecca like walked in here and was like, babe, I'm transitioning, how do you feel about this? I'd be like, so like, whatever. I mean, I'd probably be like, if that's what would make you happy, I would just want you to be comfortable with yourself, right? Like, I would hope that she wouldn't just like transition. Just like literally open the door to my room and be like, hey babe, I'm taking testosterone now. All right, bye. Good luck with your run. Because, you know, that's the kind of thing that usually you tell your partner about, and there's like a conversation. But, like... we have talked about, like, like, the theoretical of this happening, and I would be, like, okay with it. Does that make me bi? I don't really know. I feel like it's more complicated than that. I like to think of myself as being as straight as an arrow in flight. Pretty straight, but can every once in a while be blown the way the wind blows. We're all deeply attracted to Leon from Resident Evil, though. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of hot men out there, and I understand and appreciate an attractive hot gentleman. But I don't see myself necessarily being in a relationship with attractive hot gentlemen. Ike trying to read Impossible Challenge? Yeah, sorry, I'm illiterate. I kind of just go off of vibes. Let's see you fucking do it, man. Read shit, like long-ass messages in chat while you try and do, like, aiming and TP stuff. All right, buddy. All right, let's see you do it, huh? Oh my god, the magic armor. We did it. We're all just a little cute. I get the gist of stuff, okay? I'm like a translator, I'm more of a translator than like a reader, right? Like I see the message you put in chat and I kind of get the gist of it and then I read out what I believe the gist was supposed to be. Also, I'm running out of checks. What's happening? I have literally one check left and it's star prize 2. Men are hot as fuck, but I've never looked at a guy and had that specific monkey neuron activation moment you feel. So, I'm not gonna say yes there. but, I know what you're trying to say. Oh yeah! But yeah, ultimately, I think that we just don't necessarily need to put every type of... Like, I think sexual whatever can be more complicated than one of the many labels. And we don't really need a label for... But what if I'm a little bit in between? Like, what if I'm willing to be open to trying different stuff, but not necessarily would consider myself one of the current available criteria? Like... I don't think there's a label that necessarily fits, and I don't think there needs to be. Like, I don't know. I'm not like groceries on the shelf. I don't need to be labeled specifically. There's not a barcode you gotta scan. Can my barcode be 42069? I think barcodes are generally much longer than that. Okay, so I technically have this invoice that the tracker doesn't notify or like doesn't do anything with. And by the way, we're out of checks other than this invoice, so I guess we must need to turn in the invoice. No need for radical label changes, just to do an MFM threesome. I think that would actually just need to be like a very specific conversation with the other, like the F. It's not really up to me entirely. But I'm not really comfortable with that. Ike's afraid of competition? Nah, I just don't like sharing. I'm a bit of an only child. I'm like an only child and a youngest child. I fucking hate to share. Oh my god, the bomb bag was up here. We can finally finish this rando. Let's fucking go. Jeez Louise, man. Go mode? I don't think it's go mode, but it's pretty close. Some people get pretty jealous in threesomes. I feel like this is information that I probably shouldn't share because I'm also like not entirely sure if I'm accurate on this. But if I recall correctly, my brother's first divorce happened because of it was either like a threesome or like a partner swap thing, and they ended up like hitting it off with the other person, and then it kind of just went off from there. Probably not my place to share, but it happened a long time ago, and he's in a happy relationship now. So also none of you know my brother, so shit, I bet most of you didn't know I had a brother. He's like literally 12 years older than me. I have a brother and a sister, and they're both so much older than me that I was basically an only child. I didn't even know you had parents. Yeah, I'm actually just a lonely little orphan. Do I know about your brother? I don't believe so. I know about a lot of siblings from chat, though. I pay attention to that shit. At least I try to. I really like... This might sound kind of like copium, but one of my favorite things about being, like, a smaller streamer is the fact that I do kind of get to have, like, a decently personal relationship with most of the chat, right? Like, I know a fair amount about a lot of y'all's lives and families and whatnot. And it always makes me, like, kind of, I don't know. There's a positive emotion that I feel when people will, like, come in here and I'll be like, oh my god, you know, how's this thing going that you talked about 3 years ago the last time you were here? And they'll be like, oh my god, you remember that? Yeah, it's going well, thank you. Right? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, I care. I care about the people who are willing to come here and, like, hang out with me. Like, that's what makes Twitch so fucking cool. It's why I, like, have very little interest. Why I've never had a lot of interest in, like, really thriving on, like, YouTube. I don't need to go this way. Because I don't feel like YouTube is able of having the same type of, like, community the way Twitch is. And yeah, it gets a little parasocial, but it's all about just, like, knowing where the line is, you know? Like, I think I have a little bit of a parasocial relationship with my chat. But, like, I try really hard to be very open and clear about, like, I don't know. I think the problem with parasocial stuff is usually a lack of communications, as with most relationship things in this world. It's true. I called RJ a close friend just to get him to go do a boss with me. Turns out I don't even need the drop from that boss. I finally damage calced it, and it was like, oh yeah, if you actually get this drop, you don't even get a max hit. And so I left. What a waste. Definitely didn't leave just because I'm dry and upset. And then... Was that correct? I don't think that was correct. I don't know. It seemed incorrect. Whoop. There we are. But yeah, I like our little community here. I think it's fun. I think we're all a bunch of nice people with like-minded things, and I enjoy getting to see, like, the evolution of y'all, you know? So many people that I've met, I don't think I need that, through Twitch. Like, I've gotten to see them, like, graduate. God, there's some chatters that I've watched, like, graduate high school, go to college, graduate college, get a job, and then I never see them again. And that's totally cool. Because now they're busy. it also means that I get to see, yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure Mask's child also, like, Mask also was watching me from the hospital while his child was being born. Like, only the big key beyond this point. Cool. Paroko had children, got a new job, is trying to move to the States. Like, I don't know. There has been an extremely funny, like, constant in streaming, which is that if someone's life is ever, like, extra miserable, they're probably in chat. That is, like, one of the funniest constants of Twitch streaming, is, like, the more, like, in a rut you are, the more likely you are to be around chat, and then usually when you have your shit together, you're not around. It's not always true, but the, like, percentages are, like, the stats don't lie. I feel like you're pointing at me. No, this is a thing with a lot of people. I'm not pointing any fingers. If you're feeling pointed at, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just, there's a lot of people who watch because they're, like, at work or something, and then there's a lot of people who, when they're working or have a lot going on in their lives, they're busy, right? Like, and that's cool, right? There's, like, there's a few people that I swear I only, like, I see them exclusively. Oops, I was not supposed to do this. I think it works, though. No, it doesn't. I see them exclusively when they're, like, homesick from work. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll be here for you when you need me. At least I try to be. Hey, big key. All right, now we just skedaddle back on up. RuneScape's so fucking funny of a game that I stream, because like, some people understand that it's like, and like, I feel like the people who show up, even if they don't understand RuneScape, end up having a good time, because RuneScape's kind of like Rando, where it's really a just chatting stream, and if you understand what's going on, there's, like, a little bit of extra content, right? Like, you kind of get it. RuneScape is what if shiny hunting was the entire basis of a video game, but also what if some of the methods for shiny hunting were skill based. Like, that's the game. That's it. And you do just chatting streams and have a good time. And, like, it's also, like, funny because the game's also, like, insanely easy to gather, like, what's happening. Like, at a base level, I left click. That is the game. I left click. I have two hotkeys. One of them is open up my prayer book, and the other one is open up my magic book for, like, spells. Sorry, three hotkeys. I have inventory on a third hotkey. I have 3 hotkeys and left click. The visual clarity is, like, so there. Sometimes it's not. I've watched some people who have one too many plugins and, like, one too many tiles, and it's like, okay, brother, what the fuck are you doing? I also think, like, some content just kind of is a little overwhelming. Like, God, Ulm. Ulm is so overwhelming, man. What an encounter that is. But for the most part, I think RuneScape is, like, really easy to watch, even without being someone who plays RuneScape. The problem, however, is that a lot of people, maybe it's a Twitch issue, maybe it's just a people issue. They just see that it's RuneScape and they go, I don't know anything about RuneScape, I'm not gonna click on that. And it's like, this is literally just a just chatting stream with a fun cosmetic skin. It's not that deep, brother. You can come hang out. Why did I just, like, thread the needle there and dodge all of the things I needed to hit? Okay, I'm out of speed. Oi! Low-key OSRS chatters are some of the most obnoxious people. Do you like this boss? I actually love this boss. I think this boss is really cool and funny. That was... I played that poorly. Someone called your take cold. People have no taste. I think every single chatter... Sorry. I think every single viewer, to some degree, when they watch someone do one thing for a while, they get in their mind, this is my blank streamer. So then when they go do something else, you're just like, what the fuck? Because that definitely happened to me. And it was really weird because a lot of people, like, were very adamant. Like, no. We don't watch you for TP. We watch you because you're interesting. And that made sense to me because I wasn't very good. But then when I switched off TP, it was still just like, yeah, but you were the guy who I went to for TP. Regardless of whether or not it was the TP that, like, kept me here, TP was, like, that was what I had you, like, checkboxed as. And now you're not fitting that box, and so I didn't really want a RuneScape guy. Or a whatever guy, right? Because, like, or just, like, I might already have a variety guy, and I think that he's better at variety than you. But you're better at TP than my other TP guy, right? Like, that's just... I mean, you kind of destroy his sword, right? Like, it explodes. It is a cool-looking sword, though. Oh, cool, a bomb bag. I know you show up on other days. Lunar. Now we just gotta go run it down at Lake Bed, because we shouldn't need anything else. We have double bomb bag. We have... Ooh, I don't have water bombs. Do I need those? Probably not. Oh, no, I do need them. I have to go to CAC, sell a bomb bag so that I can get water bombs. Bleh. I just think that if a streamer ever is playing something long enough to get labeled as a X-streamer, they're going to struggle when they move. And it's even, like, twice as bad if you're, like, a speedrunner, because that means you're not just an X-streamer, you are an X-speedrun streamer. So you have to play that game and speedrun it. You're, like, double stuck. I honestly don't know how people grow as a variety streamer, though. Like, when I was doing... I did, like, a Pokemon challenge where I played, like, a bunch of different Pokemon games, and I swear I got, like, a couple new viewers in every single new game I played. And then I would switch to the next game, and I would lose them instantly. Like, people love just, like, watching the thing that they like. They don't really care who. I don't know when it is. I know it's soon. I haven't been paying attention to when it's happening. Did I accidentally sell both of my bomb bags? It looks like I did. That's fine. Is it asynchronous? No. Partially? If I remember last year, there were asynchronous randos you could do for the qualifiers. Probably around April. Oh, so right as League starts. Yikes. I wish... God, I wish I didn't like Leagues so much, is actually what I'm going to say. Leagues is the old school RuneScape limited time game mode that is like super fun to just play as like the only thing I played 12 hours a day every day for like a month. It's so fun and addicting. But that means I want to stream it for like the entirety of that month because it's all I want to be doing, and that is bad for my health. I'm pretty sure we are only here for the big key and like maybe a small key to use to get to the big key. That honestly sounds like it'll work out pretty well for me though. April will be leagues and tournament. That does mean I should probably hurry it up with this archipelago shit. So that maybe I have that done before leagues. I forgot to shoot one down. But yeah, going into April with those two things is like my, because, you know, do the tournament and then play leagues sounds pretty solid. Nah, I promise it'll get played. It will. It might just be something where I just dedicate time to it. E33 might just be like a... I go and play that every day for a couple weeks or something. That's kind of how I felt. Is that like I can't just like go give it a try, right? Like I'm gonna go... Like once I start playing it, it has to be a thing that I'm playing for a little while. So I've just not really wanted to be like super committal to it. A set day or 2 days a week. But like since I've been trying to learn stuff in these Zelda games, I just feel like, you know, I give it a day or 2 days. And now, like, I only stream 4 days a week. Now I only stream 3 days a week, and one of them is Twilight Tuesdays, and now I have 2 days a week that are stuff like. I want to do it the other way first. Do. It is getting very warm in this room right now. Rebecca closed the door because she didn't want to hear me while she was trying to work. She has like a big project for work that she's doing right now. But I believe this door has a sign. Nothing beyond this point. Yeah, okay. So that tells me that the boss key is before this point. And I can just go find it somewhere. Every 33rd stream. That might be a little too dank for me. I'm sorry. There's just too much stuff I want to do. And single player story game just... but a single-player story game that I promised. And, like, there's other single-player story games that I want to play more, like Pokopia. But I don't even have Pokopia, and I'm not getting Pokopia. But, like, if I had Pokopia, you know I'd be playing that shit when it came out. Fuck. I have no willpower, man. I mean, it's a single-player game that's probably going to have a story mode of some point, of some sort, yeah. Is it Switch 2 exclusive? Yeah. So, fun fact, I was talking about this earlier today, too. It's Switch 2 exclusive, right? But... Whoop! I'm ass. He's so washed. It's a Switch 2 exclusive. But if you have a Switch 1 and a Switch 2... you can play co-op on the Switch 1 with the Switch 2. even if you only have the game on the Switch 2. So if I were to have it, Rebecca and I could still play together, which I think is kind of like sick. So it's cross-gen? I don't think that's the correct term. I know people were like mad that like, if I can play it on the Switch 1 when like it's being streamed to me, then why can't the game be on the Switch 1? And it's like, well, no, because it's still played on the Switch 2. It's like being streamed from the Switch 2 to the Switch 1 or some shit. Like the Switch 2 is still the thing doing a majority of the processing. The Switch 1 can dev handle Pokopia? Like, come on. Are you, like, being so for real right now? The Switch 1 is, like, 10 years old. The Switch 1 could barely handle Scarlet and Violet. Like... Does it? I thought it looked fine. Also, games looking one way is not, like, the same as, like, you know, it can be handled on worse hardware. Like... There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Like, there are games that look like shit that are hard to run because there's just a lot going on in the engine. A game that is a technical marvel that it ran at all was Tears of the Kingdom. The fact that that game ran on the Switch 1 is fucking phenomenal. Because the engine, like the stuff happening in the engine for that game is like absurd. Every game dev... Okay, I said Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom did not run on the Wii U. You're thinking of Breath of the Wild. Maybe I said Breath of the Wild on accident, but I meant Tears of the Kingdom. But every like game dev person that I knew when Tears of the Kingdom came out was talking like on Twitter about like the fact that this game is so fucking absurd. Like the amount of interactions that can happen is like physics engine wise ludicrous. The physics engine in Tears of the Kingdom is absurd, and the fact that the Switch 1 could run it is a technical marvel. And playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2 is like night and day. Like, the Switch 2 is a significantly more powerful console. And not Bosky. We're really just looking for that Bosky. Do I think it's worth $500? And do I think it's worth it? Maybe there's more games on it. There's not very many games on it right now. Do I think it's worth $500? I mean, it can play the same games that, like, I don't know. It runs shit that, like, the PS5 runs, but on a handheld. That seems pretty fucking worth to me. It's not gonna get cheaper. I'm so sorry. I think the thing that's gonna happen is it's just you're gonna hit the point where you no longer are getting anything on the Switch 1. Everything is a Switch 2 exclusive, and you're gonna be like, well, I guess it's time. But that's where the Switch 2 is at. It's like, when do I think the Switch 2 is worth it? The answer is as soon as there's a game on the Switch 2 that you want. Bosky! Yeah, we got the Bosky. We're done. Get me out of here. Get me out of this dungeon. Yes. And that's why I got the Switch 2 like on launch, because I wanted Mario Kart World, and I made a bunch of content for Mario Kart World. I had a really good time. And then I did a bunch of other stuff on the Switch too. I played a bunch of like Pokemon Unite and shit. That was really fun. And then they killed Pokemon Unite, which was really unfortunate. Legend ZA ran really well on the Switch too. I had a lot of fun with that game. Unfortunately, I felt the post game of Legend ZA was very lackluster, and as soon as I got to the post game, I like set the game down forever. Which is kind of a tragedy. Like, the post game of Legends Arceus, like, mogs the post game of Legends ZA, like, insanely hard. There's really no competition there. But I thought ZA was a lot of fun, so I'm still glad I got it. Well, I'm mostly glad I got it. There's a part of me that's just like, I feel like one of the best things about it is that I have access to the legendaries, or like to the megas and shit. But even then, I haven't been doing the like ranked stuff to get the like mega stones for the new Mon. And I really hope that doesn't come back to bite me. The online free-for-all 4-person thing was so insanely unfun to me. I really wanted to like it too. Is the rando of a P-split? I mean, kinda. The P-split was basically this. You can go pee when you stab Morpheal. Like at the end of Morpheal, you can go to the bathroom without it being a problem. I wish people were more honest with themselves as to what they needed for a game to feel worth it. This is something, I have this conversation with Rebecca a lot too, where she very frequently is like, it's not, she thinks like almost any game she ever buys is like not worth it. Unless it's like truly exceptional or something like that. I don't remember the last like Nintendo game that she was like, oh, that was worth, right? And I think we have a very different, because like since most games are still only like 70, like if you think about it like this, okay, a Nintendo game is like 1.5 tanks of gas. Let's be generous. Let's say a Nintendo game is 2 tanks of gas. Like, I think gas is $35. Are you surprised by that? Oh wait, you don't drive and you're in Germany. Pre or post war on Iran? Which one? Current? I don't know. I haven't gotten gas since the new war on Iran. Yes, gas here is really expensive. Usually 40 to 50 bucks. And that is lake bed completed, which means it is go mode. Go mode! Oh! So do you think you're getting... Because it's just so subjective, right? Because, like, was it worth the money? For me, did I get enough hours of fun out of it? And, like... For example... Legends ZA, I only played, like, 40 to 60 hours of. But that means I got like $1 an hour, and that's pretty fucking solid, right? When I go play mini golf or some shit, I pay like $20 to play mini golf for an hour. And then I do that 3 times and I get, you know, 50 hours of a game. Like, that's, I don't know. I feel like games are so regularly worth the money. Like, on average, games are usually worth, like, the time to money. Because, like, you also usually get to keep the game. You can go back and play it whenever you want. So long as, you know, the nonsense, like, there is, like, that thing where it's like, oh, Pokopia is a game cart game. And, like, technically Nintendo could decide that you don't actually own the game. You just kind of own the game, but not really. And it's just like, okay, but we've been worried about that since the dawn of digital video games, and very infrequently does this actually affect people. It is really shitty that it can, but it hasn't really. Like, I know there's a couple of games that, like, disappear from eShops and you can't buy it anymore, but usually if you still had it, you could download it. I've never had a game that I've purchased digitally just become unplayable. But this might be an experience that is, like, unique? I don't know. It doesn't happen very often, so I'm, like, not really that concerned about it. On a personal level, I'd rather it didn't happen, but, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna fret, I guess. I do think digital-only games need to be slightly cheaper than physical games. Like, I don't really understand why we moved to, like, digital-only, but it's the same price. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, at least make physical games more expensive so it feels like the digital is cheaper. I don't know. Maybe that's an insane take. I believe you can only get a digital copy of Pokopia. You cannot get a physical cartridge of that game. I like physical games too. I almost exclusively buy physical games unless the digital is something that I need for some reason. So you can resell it. It's digital only, but it's a game card thing, right? I don't know. It's weird. The new Nintendo shit is very strange, but, like, the cart works as the game, but it works in, like, it's like a key, right? You put the key in and it plays the game, but you have to download it. There's no, like, physical data stored on the cart other than a thing that says you own the game. I don't believe it's locked. I think it's just the game thing needs to be inserted. Bloop. The go-to example people will point to is a game called The Crew, which was sold as a physical game with an online mode, but also had offline play, but using it still required internet access. When the company shut down the game, it bricked everyone's physical copies, even though they all worked and were completely playable without multiplayer. Yeah, I don't like that. But, like, ultimately, servers need games. If it has it offline, it shouldn't, like, that's just like they made a mistake, and that's fucking stupid. But games that need servers, like, I understand that the server isn't up anymore, that, like, that sucks. But if the company can't afford to keep servers running, then, like, what do you want them to do, man? Yeah, I'll take a look. I'm very, like, pro physical cartridges and, like, buying games, you should be able to own them, but I do think that things aren't as bad. Like, I think we're going in a bad direction, but we haven't gotten there yet. I can see Nintendo killing their Switch 2 game cards when they want to release it in the eShop of the next console. I kind of can't. Like, Nintendo's evil, but they're evil in a very specific way, and I could see a company like E3 doing that. EA. I could see EA doing that, but not really Nintendo. Mostly because I feel like Nintendo just, like, doesn't really try that hard to fuck people over. They kind of just do. I don't know if that makes sense. Unless it's, like, some, like, lawsuit shit. Usually they fuck people over just because they didn't... They shut down the 3DS store? Oh, wait, I'm supposed to kill you. That was bad. I'm so distracted by chat. I'll admit, I am a bit of a, like, hope person. Maybe I have more hope than I should. Because a lot of companies have not really given us a reason to believe that we should ever have any hope in things, but I don't know. I want to enjoy my silly little games, and if that means I have to buy it digitally, like, I'm just gonna try and smile. Buy it digitally. It's gonna be all right. They're not gonna fuck us over, and if they fuck us over, I'll apologize profusely that I believed they wouldn't do this and they did it, but, like, yeah, you're right. It's just only not happened to me, but it has happened. But I do feel like it happens to a very small subset of games, not like a very common thing that happens all the time to a bunch of games, but, like, it does happen, and that is really shitty, and that people are very rightfully afraid of it happening to their games. But we're coming up at the end of this randomizer. Just barely under 3 hours, it seems. So that's... Usually my goal is in the 2 to 3 hour range, so... Yippee! Let's close this out on a positive note, huh? Woohoo! Yippee! Look at that butter sword. It's as buttery as it gets. Are there specific tourney rules? Yes, and I have been playing by them. Clonk and Fuchsia, or whatever the fuck this color is, and time! Woohoo! Usually tourney rules are just, you have specific rules to the checks, and then, like, you know, it'll be glitchless, but these glitches are allowed, and that's more or less it. So whenever I'm making a seed, I go here and I go season 1.5, the temporary settings that they're currently using for testing for season 2. I played in season 1, and now I've been playing season 1.5, and I click that, and it gives me the settings for the season 2 tournament. And then I just remember from last year the rules of, like, what glitches are and aren't allowed, and try to stay confined to those. It does indeed, however, end here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube video. See you next Tuesday.